I was a high rate taxpayer with a successful business, happily married, and then I'm not the only one to tell this kind of story, by the way. There are many of us. My business went bust. My creditors took everything.
Yes.
My wife passed away from cancer.
Oh, mate.
And just through a series of events, I ended up homeless. Most of that time, over 18 months, was in hostels, but some of it was on the street. It was about a week when me and my friends used to sleep by air conditioning units because they blew out warm air.
Yes.
By a block of flats which had lots of vacant properties in it, and so you can imagine how we felt. What I'm trying to say is that when I eventually was given some social housing, how do you think I looked after that flat?
Yeah. I said I was being an idiot, didn't I?
I mean, I spent my own money. I used to have my own.
I know. Well, you know what I did, Jeff, and I'm sorry for doing this, but because we're near Charing Cross down here in Leicester Square, and you see the people spaced out on. I'm going to sound like Alan Partridge now, but in for a penny, in for a pound. You see the people spaced out on spice. You really do. And you see the people with chaotic lives, and you see the people who really struggle to look after themselves. And you say something, if you're not thinking straight, you say something a little bit narrow and shallow and callous.
I would say, Jeff, that you're
sorry, Jeff, aren't you?
I would say, sorry, a bit nervous.
Don't be. You played a blinder.
That you're making a common mistake.
I agree with you.
I know about 100 people that are still homeless.
Yes.
And none of them have got an alcohol or a drug dependency problem.
No, I'm sorry.
They're all just ones. They were all just one paycheck away from losing their home.
And how many times have you heard me say that? How many times have you heard me ask, how many paychecks have you got before the wheels come off?
This is going to become a massive issue, because when the personal debt bubble bursts and people can't rely on their credit cards, which most of them that I know do,
yes,
I reckon there's going to be an escalation in homelessness, and we have to prepare now for housing those, what I would call decent, responsible people. All I needed was a base and a platform. I've now started a new business. I've got a new partner, and I just had to have, and I was just given that break. And if what Jeremy Corbyn said, there's some, I don't care what it's like, a rabbit hutch, whatever, and he says there's an empty property here that's just generating income. If you go into this under the local authority, not on your own, obviously with their support, just like a social housing, I would have just taken their arm off, and so would all my friends.
Who were homeless at the time.
Who still are homeless. And they're not drug dependent, they're not alcohol dependent.
How many of them are working?
Emotional. Most of them are working, but they're working hand to mouth.
I bet you're getting emotional. This is a national shame. It's an absolute shame.
There's someone that I slept next to in our sleeping bags and so on, that was working in a I can't name the company, but was working in a coffee shop.
While sleeping rough.
While sleeping rough. And his biggest problem was how to get himself clean in order to go to work, in order to pay, because he wouldn't take handouts or anything. He had that, as I did. I would
probably be like that as well. Will you forgive me?
My male ego and pride wouldn't allow me to.
It's not ego and pride. Well, you can call it that. You can call it dignity, but then you're offending people who do take charity. There
aren't many who are just takers.
No, I hear you, mate.
Choose to be homeless.
No, I know. I'm so sorry. I don't know how I fell into that.
As well, I really felt I sat in my flat. I've emulsioned it and made it nice.
Yes.
But I have to go to the people that I know and give them a bowl of soup, because I can't live there now feeling like all warm and comfortable. But you have to go on the journey in order to understand.